And I'm so pleased to introduce our next panel host, Montica Tica Sansook of Defy Esports Cafes. This is an all-female panel, and we're covering a variety of careers. And I'm so looking forward to hearing your personal stories and why the esports lifestyle works for you. So Tika, take it away.
Okay, hi everybody. Hope everybody's having a fantastic day as we're all like working from home. So I have a few other people that we're sharing a space for our work from home. So if there's some overfeed, apologize ahead of time. But I'm putting the RTX voice to good use today. So I'm Tica as the introduction, and we also have Crystal and Allison here with us as our amazing all-female panel. I will kick off first. We're going to do a really quick run through to introduce who we are individually, and then we'll rotate into some quick questions to start this panel off. So I am with Defy Esports, and it is a growing concept that takes more of an approach to investing the ecosystem from a local's grassroots area. So we have your high level with your pro leagues and organizations, and then we're trying to help facilitate and push the local grassroots scene into that to help keep the industry moving forward. So that's where Defy sits, and we are solely focused on the the enthusiast aspect. So we're making an awesome environment for people to come in, to spectate, to cheer, to bring your content creators, interact with your community, and grow from there. And we're hoping to expand to flagships by major cities, and then open up satellites by universities that support esports. So that's me in a nutshell. So Crystal or Allison, who would like to go first?
I'll go next. So
yes!
By the way, very nice to meet you, Montica. Very excited to hear about everything going on. So hi, I'm Alison Waters. You may know me as Skybilz on the internet. I am representing OXG Esports in their Magic the Gathering Arena department. I am a Twitch partner and ambassador for them. And I basically have been in this industry for about 6-7 years at this point. I have my undergrad from Penn State University in English and my graduate degree from St. Bonaventure University in English as well. And somehow I found my way into this world of esports by transitioning from teaching. I started out as a comp instructor into esports and Twitch streaming and all that, and that will be related. I'll get into that later with my story. But yes, OXG and Twitch is primarily what I do. I'm also a coach for Gamer Sensei as well. So if y'all have any questions about the esports world or how I got into it, I'm more than happy to answer that.
That sounds great. Awesome. So 7 years on average in esports. I love how it's we start out like, hey, we're going to do this like traditional real world approach to careers, and then boom, we get blindsided into esports. It's great. Okay, Crystal, lay it on me. Who are you?
Who am I? I'm really excited to be here today, guys. It's really nice to meet you, Allison, as well. But my name's Crystal. I'm most recently the VP of Content at Ritual Motion, where we cover all things health, wellness, inclusivity, diversity, everything awesome in esports that we need to have conversations about. But previously, I've worked with Optic Gaming, I've worked with The Score, I've worked with The Loadout, I've worked with Esports Insider. There's a long list of companies and people that I've worked with for the past 10 or 11 years. I don't even know anymore. So yeah, a lot of content creating, a lot of different kinds of writing, a lot of fun. I love esports. So that's me in a nutshell.
That's fantastic. What do you feel like, did you feel like it was a sudden shift into esports, or do you think it was just like a ramp up over time?
It was kind of like jumping off of a cliff, and I didn't really know where I was landing.
With or without parachute?
Probably without.
Okay, I feel that.
No, I mean, like I grew up playing video games. I've always loved video games, and I've always loved to write. So I decided to just kind of blend the two. And of course, started out in general video games on my own blog. Got into Call of Duty. That was my first esport that I fell in love with. I got to meet,
Same.
Yeah, right, awesome, yeah, and I got to meet so many people that was helping to grow the community and make connections from there, and realize that this is what I wanted to write about, and it's just kind of spiraled.
That's fantastic. Okay, ladies, so we're going to go swing into let's hit up the topic over health and wellness within our esports lifestyle. Like, how are we balancing the lovely stereotype that we are desk jockeys versus like trying to keep a good physical and mental healthness like throughout our careers? Do you mind sharing some personal takes on that?
Absolutely. So someone had mentioned the Play 30 or the Play 60 program earlier in the NFL and football, like encouraging everybody to get up and do that once in a while. I have an elliptical right in my bedroom, so there is absolutely zero excuse for me to get up. If I'm doing so many hours of streaming, I want to make sure I do so many minutes / even up to an hour of me working out a day. I have a yoga mat also by my streaming setup. I get up once an hour. I get up, I stretch. I tell my whole audience, even when I'm show running on Games Done Quick, I say, please, everybody get up, hydrate. I mean, and as of a few months ago, unfortunately got removed, but we had a stay hydrated bot throughout all of Twitch that reminded people, it has been 45 minutes into this stream, everybody get up and stretch. And that's just so important. Stretching, hydration, and then of course, making sure I get that amount of working out a day, especially during COVID. It's always good to have your own personal equipment or workout setup, which I've been using for years. So there's
Awesome.
that. And then always making sure I at least take one day off a week as a streamer, especially during a time we're all inside. It's very easy to work 7 days a week. I have colleagues who work 7 days a week. It is not a good idea. I definitely at least take one day off a week, keeping a schedule and a calendar. It's also very healthy. So those are my takes on what to do about health and wellness, especially when streaming and in esports.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. For anybody who is not aware, Twitch is an online streaming platform that started out as Justin TV, and you can, as a content creator, just like we are now in Zoom, except appeal to a huge mass of people. Not when you start, it's typically a hard grind when you start, but as you ramp up, you build yourself your own ecosystem of a community that come and help and cheer you on through chat, throw bits at you for your hydration bot, if you have it linked up that way, to many more fun aspects of it. So,
I had a couple of questions real quick. Is that okay? Could I answer like a couple of them I see in chat?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Someone asked me, how many hours a day am I on? Typically anywhere between 4 to 8 hours per day. I'm typically on 8:30 p.m. to about 2 a.m. or so. Those are my typical hours.
Mhm.
But it's not just that. It's so much more. There's scheduling, there's networking. I host for various networks. So I'm not just a broadcaster on Twitch. I'm not just an esports player. And then there's all that magic practice I do off stream. So I may only be on for these hours, but that doesn't mean that that's the only time that I work. I just wanted to clear that up. Great question though.
All right, Crystal, over to you. Share with us some awesome health and wellness details.
Awesome health and wellness details. All right. So I recently started taking up boxing. So I go to boxing class as often as I can. The issue with that is that I have one of the weirdest schedules in the history of schedules. So during the day, I do esports stuff with Ritual Motion and all of my own personal projects. And then at night, over the weekend, I work in pediatric surgery, which is not related at all. No one ever expects it when I say that. So I have to work over the weekend at night. I sleep all day on Tuesday. I flip my schedule. I wake up super early on Wednesday, and then for the rest of the week, I do esports stuff. So it's challenging to find the time to, be healthy, make those healthy decisions. But boxing has been like the best release I have ever found, and it's one of the greatest decisions I've ever made. So go punch things.
Go punch things. I feel that. I love that. I used to be in mixed martial arts for such a long time. So I on a personal level, go punch things when you gotta get rid of some stress. I feel that.
That's all three of us. I have a black belt in Taekwondo as well.
There you go, me too.
Awesome. Okay, we got 3. Our panel is amazing. We're all black belts. That's fantastic. All right, let's flow into the next topic. We got 2 more after that. How would you guys feel about diversity and inclusion within our esports gaming industries? Like, how are you making a active conscience to bring more diversity to our ecosystem?
I very much like this question. This is something that has come up in the Magic the Gathering community. So I'm actually currently in the top 16 of a tournament called the Venus and Mercury League, which is an all women and non-binary league for people who play Magic. We try to be as inclusive as possible. And yes, competition is fun. We all love winning. However, our highest priority is networking and meeting and getting a chance to communicate, making those connections, promoting each other on each other's social networks. It's all about the empowerment. And that is something that I've been very passionate about lately. And then besides that, I'm also, yes, I am a dual esports player, if you will. I am in the speedrunning community as well for Games Done Quick. And I always try to have people from all different kinds of backgrounds on my two shows, Random Number Generation and Mercy Kill, to try to just show people, here's people from all walks of lives in the speedrunning community, and to give them time to plug themselves, and not only what they necessarily do on their stream, but what they do in life in general, just to make sure we get that personal element out there. So between those two things, I absolutely try to promote diversity through that. I'll probably be involved with some more hosting and commentary as well for the VML in the future. So looking forward to that.
That's fantastic. So to that extent, being a dual esports player, do you find yourself that, because when I play, I often come across the question of like, do you feel different as like a female going into this space? And my response to that would be like, through gaming is one of the most gender neutralizing aspect, because your gamer tag is your like anonymity to everything. So like it depends on based on your skill and your personal play style that shines through versus being on a physical field limited by your physical attributes. How do you feel that same way?
Was that for me or was that for Crystal?
That was for you, Allison.
All right. So one more time. I'm so sorry. Can I get...
No, you're good. So to like liquidate it all down, do you feel like when you take the stage to play on a professional field, do you feel like playing games is the best like gender like neutralizing platform? It doesn't matter if you're non-binary. It doesn't matter if you're male, female. You're just there to play. Do you feel like it's a more equal platform to compete?
I'll tell you something. When I was up on that featured match for the Mythic Invitational for MTGA in 2019, it didn't matter what gender I was. I got up there. I didn't even realize I was staring down a two-time world champion. So that even goes to skill and experience. I got up there and played my best game, and I did not let that be a factor. I was still going to prove that I was as tough of a player as anybody else up there. I got up there and I did my business and I won. I didn't let that become any kind of barrier. I wanted to show people, regardless of who you are, regardless of your background, you too can get up here and do this. And that's something I carry into all of my programming and commentary.
That's fantastic. Good to hear. All right, Crystal, over to you. How are you incorporating diversity and inclusion into your career?
Well, it's about listening. It's about creating those platforms so everyone can be heard and have their stories out in the open. I'm a Women in Games ambassador, where we try to educate and support women that are trying to get into the esports industry, because, you know, the truth is that so many people want to get into the industry, but they don't really know what direction to take or how to do it. They just know that they like video games and they want to be a part of it. So we get to provide that platform where they can come in and share their experience and their stories and help them find some sort of a direction to take as far as, you know, finding a career or being a competitive player, finding the right team for them. So there are so many avenues that people can take to find their home in esports. And we're one of the biggest platforms, I think, so far that is really kind of embracing that and promoting that.
That's fantastic. I love that you're taking an approach from like helping people to find their niche. And I'm sure it takes a few iterations to like first get your feet wet and then go face roll through a few different projects to figure out what you're comfortable with. That's awesome. Okay, so with that, that's a great segue, Crystal, to like let's talk about authenticity. I'm sure all three of us have heard this been thrown around as a marketing term here and there, or like what organizations like to do. How do you guys view authenticity for like the grassroots movement to the pro leagues?
I think it's just about sharing your personal stories and being a human. I mean, too often you get into a field like this and you see people that are successful and they become kind of these, larger than life figures. You don't really see the humanity in that anymore. You just see what they're doing and what they've done and how huge it is. But all of us came into this because, you know, the majority of us love video games, and this is what brought us into it. And I think those stories are important. And then as you start incorporating, you know, the other skills and your other experience that you have, it creates this incredibly diverse platform that you know, didn't really know about before. So it's a really awesome industry to kind of get to know everyone and hear about all of their aspects.
That's fantastic. So it's like a fun, like unity, like a common place to connect. Allison, what do you think about that?
I agree with the authenticity. You have to have a passion for what you do. If you don't do that, it's going to show in all avenues. But one of the most important aspects of this to me, and I think we can learn this in all of our trades and all of our different ways we're involved with the business of esports, and that is staying humble. The fact that you are not better than these people, you know, you're not better than anybody. You are just here to be an example. You are here to be a human. I think Crystal had a great point in that. You know, at our base, we are all humans. And I have a friend of mine, you may know him on Twitch. His name is Graham Pooh Bear. He and I are very close friends. And, you know, he always had this thing whenever someone subscribed to him, you know, didn't matter what tier, he always said, "Thank you so much. I am not worthy of that." And that is just something for us to remember. Yes, you can be confident, and yes, you can take that energy into spaces, but remember at the end of the day that esports is about a community, and you are nothing without that community. So it's just something to remember, something to keep yourself grounded. And remember that we're all here working together. Everybody in this conversation, we're all here because we have an interest in esports. And remember that everybody has a very useful role and appreciative role within this community. So just keeping that idea of community and staying humble.
Fantastic. Looks like we got a question for Crystal in the text chat. Could you talk a little bit about RMTV? Just to share a teaser for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically RMTV is Ritual Motion TV. It's our webcast where we like to highlight and interview people in the industry that are, you know, making a difference in health and wellness, diversity, inclusion, everything that our brand supports. And it's another way, kind of going off of what I was saying about creating a platform to hear those other voices that you might, you know, not necessarily be able to hear because, you know, esports is so big now. So it's another way to create that conversation and put it out there to people that need to hear it. And it's an incredible project, and it's an incredible message, and it's awesome. We have a lot of things in store.
Yes, lots of passion to share in this industry over and over again. Oh my goodness. So let's roll into our last topic, and then we'll open the floor to questions remaining. So with everything we just talked about, because it's all fantastic, what do you think, putting this all together, ladies, cultivating a positive conscience mean for our industry?
So in terms of positivity, that's when things are at their lowest, that you're able to dig deep down and just keep going. We're going to experience setbacks. I mean, if 2020 is not an example of what a setback is, I don't know what that is. And again, this pertains to everybody, but it's about overcoming those setbacks, reaching out to others for help. We can't do this alone, and being able to empower others when they are down as well. So again, going back to that community aspect, being there for others, reaching out to others for assistance, and just asking myself, how can I better my community? I do that every year. I do charity work for Play Life St. Jude for their campaign. And that's something where, because I have so much and I'm grateful for what I have, that is my way of giving back to the community. Games Come Done Quick, I host for them every year, very passionately. Power Up with Pride, another example of that. Again, just thinking about and reflecting what we have and what we're grateful for and how we can spread that goodwill to others. That is one way in which I try to keep positivity in mind, and just know that there's going to be good days and bad days in streaming. It's with any broadcast program. That's how it is. And just keeping that positive mental attitude that I can do this, and that someone out there is probably not having a great day. And my stream, if it improves one person's day, I'm doing my job right off the bat. And you don't know who's watching. You don't know what day they're having. So just always bringing your best positive attitude to the table, regardless of what's going on.
That sounds fantastic. So it's really, it's not just a one-way street when it comes to esports. And like, to really invest into the ecosystem, it's a full circle. So it's going one way, receiving the community support, but it's also how well we can give back to the community and invest and give like the opportunity to other people.
Yes,
I would say for that, for sure. All right, Crystal. Tell me,
Yeah, I
what is
mean,
your positive conscience?
I agree with everything that she said 100%. I think it's about creating that support system, and it's about creating those conversations that might not be very comfortable to talk about, but it's opening the door to healing and helping each other, and creating this environment that isn't really as stigmatized as it is now. But yeah, I mean, she hit the nail on the head 100%. I mean, it's about reaching out, and it's about remaining personal with people. I think once you get into the point where you kind of lose that, you lose touch with who's listening, and you kind of lose that environment, you lose that support. So I think it's really important to stay connected to the people that are in your community, and just reach out and be there. I mean, provide resources, provide the education, just offer what you have.
For 100% great touch points, uplifting each other as we all move forward. 2020 has basically been a unrelenting boss. A random level that just dropped, and we got to gather together like an MMO and go forward.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to, is there any final last tidbits you ladies would like to share with everybody before we open the floor up to questions real quick?
I don't think so, no.
I guess one thing I would like to say is, I'm sporting these gloves today from Ritual Motion. Protect your hands. Oh my gosh, had I known this about 6-7 years ago. And that goes for you. If you are working in a business and you're even just typing on a keyboard, you need these. Trust me, these are very important. Your hands are an investment. Something I wish I had had years ago. That's just so important. We're talking about health and wellness. That is where a lot of this starts. If you're going to be involved in any kind of digital industry, esports, or if you just type a lot at work, I would highly recommend these.
Or if you're feeling hungry, we have snacks.
I just moved, guys. I literally just set up my rig like 5 minutes before going live, and I have a snack pile already.
Hey, that's important.
You got to get the priorities straight. All right, it has been a fantastic pleasure. Chat, let's hear, do you have any questions for us ladies to get to?
I have a question. Right now, we have this amazing group that's participating in this, and thank you once again, everyone, for being part of this. What would the one thing, Crystal and Allison, you'd like to probably get across that we could do collectively as a community to help inclusion and diversity in gaming and esports?
I would say one of the best things to do is I saw what Virtual Motion TV is doing. I looked at your website the other day. I love a lot of the ideas there. Maybe just interviewing and making sure that representation gets out there. Even a little bit, even an interview with questions about people of different communities or people of different backgrounds. That is a great way to promote them and to let people know, hey, we're out here, and to provide that contact support. And again, that personal element we're talking about, getting their stories out. That's so important. There are so many people who do not have that platform. They stream for years on end to maybe 5 viewers on Twitch, and their stories do not get out there. Where I am, and because of where I'm thankful to be, I try to lift their voices, elevate their voices, and get the story out there. Another thing to do is to help raise money for charities. The Trevor Project is one that I have been involved with, and that's another way to do it. Look at all different kinds of meaningful charities and maybe do fundraisers. I noticed that Ritual Motion did do this for the Trevor Project, right? I believe I can't see it because the light's bright, but I have the gloves from the Pride campaign as well, and I absolutely love that. And I hope y'all continue doing that, because those are the charities, those are the people that need the most help. And again, lifting their voices, lifting their stories along with that would be a great idea.
And that's definitely something that we're planning on doing, that we've been doing with Ritual Motion. And as far as like content that we're going to create moving forward, we're going to provide that platform to help, open the door and highlight these voices that need to be heard and shared. So it's going to be really exciting moving forward.
I definitely agree with the cross-pollination helps the evolution of everybody's brand and whatnot. And I'm even seeing on LinkedIn of all platforms, I've started a passion project called Hidden Champions, where I'm highlighting women from all aspects of the industry, from stage production to lawyers to students and all across the board. So it's cross-pollinating, promoting not only just helps them, but helps you, and it like everybody's like king.
Can I add one other thing? To anybody out there watching, just remember that there's a lot of people out there. We've been talking this whole afternoon, no matter what background we're from, about how to get people more involved in esports. It only takes one person to offer one opportunity to someone who very much looks promising, someone who's very passionate about their trade. You could be that person to either inspire them or offer an opportunity to them. And there are so many medium to smaller streamers out there that deserve those opportunities. So just something to keep in mind when scouting. Twitch is a great way to do that, or even watching esports events. If someone looks like they're brand new to it, the same way how Wizards and Hasbro offered me that opportunity at the Mythic Invitational so my voice can be heard, providing those diversity opportunities, discretionary invites. Those are very important, and that's how we get the conversation started with especially women and non-binary groups in esports.
So fantastic. Let's see, let's take one more question. Let's see, how do you recognize opportunities for your career that you may not have planned?
Ooh, okay. I'll take it. I'm
trying to formulate this.
It's in my field, especially not just with Ritual Motion creating content, but being a journalist, and you kind of live for the opportunities that kind of just randomly appear and slap you in the face. So it's one of those things where you get to recognize, you know, just exactly who you're reaching, who you're communicating with, the opportunity to, you know, like I keep saying, we all keep saying, offering that platform to, you know, help people be heard and share their messages. So, you know, as far as content goes, it's an endless supply of, you know, platforms and doors and opportunities for people to come in and collaborate and create content together. And it's a fantastic way to share their stories and get to know each other in a creative way that, you know, some people just, you know, don't get into or can't do. And it's the same with streaming. You know, I don't stream as much as Allison does. I dabble in it occasionally because I'm also very bad at some games. But we have so many different avenues and so many different ways to create these opportunities. And it's not even just about finding roles anymore. You can create your own in this industry. There's so much room for growth and to invent that it's insane. It's awesome.
I agree with everything Crystal said, and that was very well said, by the way. The only thing I have to add is from my own personal experiences, do not be daunted by opportunities, even if it seems like you're just getting started with something. Now, I've been playing Magic, but like casually, you know, Friday Night Magics, casual games, kitchen table magic, as we call it with friends. And I got this email from Wizards in late winter 2018 saying, we want you to be on our biggest level tournament. Well, imagine how I felt at first, just as a speedrunner and maybe a fan of Magic at the time, more like saying, okay, we're going to put you in the highest level competition of Magic right now. And I remember my partner telling me, if I have to escort you to that plane personally, so you can go and do this, you're going to get this done. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. I can't be afraid to do this. And it's that attitude that has really helped me just persevere in esports. I had someone like William as a mentor. I would definitely recommend, if there's someone you can confide in, mentoring is so important, either for you to be mentored by someone else or for you to mentor somebody else. Just knowing that you don't have all the answers, and that's okay, and to collaborate and network with people, that's going to be so important for your success in this. And it's okay to be afraid, and it's okay to have feelings about things. That's when you reach out to your networks. So don't be afraid, just take the opportunities that you have and go with it.
Fantastic. Thank you, ladies. It's been a great panel, and I hope to we all talk to each other again soon.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.